Joining us right now is my good friend John Scott. He wrote a book about Tom Petty because we wouldn't know anything about Tom Petty if it wasn't for him.
No.
He lucked out at his job and had a white sleeve in his office that had the first Tom Petty record in it, and it was 8 months earlier that the label had tried to put it out, and they considered it a dead project. John didn't have anything else to work, so he listened to it in his office, and the rest is history. John, how you doing, man?
Hey, Lex, great to hear from you. I woke up with a little sore throat this morning, so just bear with me.
Hey, no, you sound good, man.
You sound sexy as ever.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Yes.
Lex and Jerry and a crew of characters.
Yeah, we're here, man, and congratulations on the book. By the way, it's super cool. I've read through most of it, and I really enjoy it. I like seeing these handwritten notes for some reason. It really kind of drives everything home for me.
Yeah.
It really makes it real more personal, and I appreciate you including those.
Well, thank you.
Were you thinking, should I include them or not include them, or talk about them, or?
Well, I saved them for 40 years in the original thermal paper, believe it or not, and I thought this would show a different side of Tom if people knew he was funny as hell on a fax machine. Because he was like a kid in the candy store when he got the fax machine, and me and him, we didn't know anybody else's number to call, so we just started faxing each other. And as we progressed, they got funnier and funnier. And one time, I got a fax that said, "Hey John, you home? I want to show Roger McGuinn at the Birds how to use this fax machine." So I sent something over, and next thing I get is an autograph from Roger McGuinn saying, "John, thanks for the fax demo." And it just sounds so crazy these days about fax. Who's got a fax machine?
You know what? Those things were out for like a year or two before they started getting used regularly. Because they put one in my office, and I think I saw it work like 3 times.
Well, it does show a different side of Tom, and you're right, Jerry. I think it was Jerry, right?
Yes.
You're right. It does show a different side of Tom because he doodles on the faxes and says little funny, crazy things, And buy a cup of tin Shinola or something, And he just says funny things, and you would never have thought Tom Petty would have been on a fax machine saying goofy things.
I never would have thought he was a Dodger fan, baseball or anything.
Yeah.
I was loving that. I love the Dodgers, so.
Oh, he was a Dodger fan, no doubt about it. We saw, what's his name, hit the home run
Kirk
in
Gibson.
the World Series. Yeah, Kirk Gibson. We were right around his birthday, and we were standing at a restaurant bar, and we just couldn't believe that home run.
Yeah,
but he was a Dodgers fan. And
it's fun to see, man.
Yeah, he.
Thank you.
No, you guys, when you met the first time face to face, didn't go so well, did it?
No, it really didn't. Like you said, I picked up his album by accident, and in my mind, it wasn't an accident. It was meant to be, and it had nothing on about who this band was. And I heard American Girl and a breakdown, and I was like in a hypnotic trance, like, who the hell are these guys? And so I went to my boss and said, "Who are these guys?" And he said, "Oh, that's that punk band, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the unbankable Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers." And I just looked at him like in disbelief, like, "You consider this a punk record?"
Yeah.
Have you listened to the Ramones?
Yeah.
No, but anyway, I begged him for 6 months. To give me 6 weeks to get this record played, and so he finally relented after saying no a few times, and I just started calling radio stations around the country, and the majority of people had never heard of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. They'd thrown the record away. It came out 8 months earlier, as you said, Lex, and they had thrown the record away. So I sent out about 100 copies of the record, and I said, don't look at the cover, because the cover threw a lot of people. I don't know if you know that or not, but the cover threw a lot of people because Tom had bullets around his neck, black leather jacket, blonde stringy hair.
Yeah, it was kind of douchey.
And a smirk on his face.
Yeah.
Well, as you look back, I really like it, but and the one thing I never did ask him was, why
were
did
you thinking?
do that?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? But, it's all part of the story because he knew he was about to be dropped from the label, and I picked the record up, and by chance, a good friend of yours and a good friend of mine, Charlie Kendall, was starting a radio station in Los Angeles. I played it for him, and he just had this glazed look on his eyes like, good God Almighty, this is good. And so I felt, as a promotion man, that really felt good. And he said, he said, they any good live? And I went, I don't know. Just picked up the record by accident myself 3 days ago. I said, but they are playing at the Whiskey Saturday night, opening for Blondie. And went, hell yeah, we're going. I want to see this band. And if they're as good live as this record is, I'm going to start playing Breakdown.
Oh, good.
So we go to the Whiskey Saturday night, and there's about 10 people in the audience. And he's the opening act at 7 o'clock. And he comes out, and the band just blew us away. I mean, I've never seen anybody like Mike Campbell before.
Great.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And then Tom just slaps that Rickenbacker on him and blows you away with cover songs. And as soon as he played Breakdown, Charlie leaned over and said, I'm going to start playing this record once an hour, every hour, Monday morning. And, that really excited me because I felt vindicated,
Yeah, it's airplay in Los Angeles. It's not easy to get.
No. So, yeah, right, exactly. And some of these stations were tight back then. And I went upstairs to just meet this guy because I was so excited. I had heard his music, now I'd seen him, and I knew in my mind, this is different. This is fresh and new and something I'd never heard before. He had a bird kind of sound, but he made it his own. But anyway, so I walked up to him upstairs. He was wiping his face off with a towel. And I said, hey, Tom, my name is John Scott. I'm the new head of album promotion at ABC Records. He said, I don't give a damn who you are. Just get out of here. I went, oh, okay. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you ever heard your record on the radio in Los Angeles? He went, no. Why? I said, well, you're going to start hearing it Monday morning. You're going to start hearing Breakdown. And the whole band's laughing at me. And this is another ABC Records stunt. Somebody coming over here tells us they're going to get our record played, blah, blah, blah. And, for some reason, I guess because I had seen it and I had heard it, I turned to him and I said, Tom, I'm going to break your career wide open. Not even knowing if that's possible.
Yeah.
But I said it, and then he, I think, threw an expletive out at me. And he said, get out of here, to me and Charlie. And as the roadie was walking over to escort us out, I said, hey, my name's John Scott. Every time you hear your record on the radio, you're going to think of me, buddy. And, man, he just let out a cackle. The whole band was just, get out of here. You
It's like being in a biker bar.
Wow.
Right. So me and Charlie kind of walked out laughing because we knew, what we'd seen, what we heard. And I'd never seen a band like them, to be quite honest with you.
No.
And, right? I mean...
for sure. I mean, when you got treated like that, though, it's amazing because most people would go, well, F you son of a bitch. I just made a deal. But did you chalk it up to, that's just rock star. That's even cooler.
Well, no, I understood it because for 8 months they had been advertising his record in teen magazine and punk magazines.
Yeah, they handled him so bad.
He was beat up by the record company. I could tell that, right away, because he didn't want to hear anything about ABC Records. And if you read the book, you'll see what Stan Lynch said about what ABC Records stands for, which I'm not going to say. But anyway, so about a week later, Charlie started playing the record, and on Wednesday, Tower Records called and said, who is that you're playing? We're getting calls for this band. And so they ordered 250 copies, and, they had a sales team. I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to get this record played on the radio. He said, well, it's going. They were dropping them, but go ahead. And anyway, on Friday, I got a call in my office. My assistant said, Tom Petty's on the phone. I went, oh, boy. This could be good or bad. I don't know. And so he gets on the phone. He's got this Southern drawl. We're both Southern boys. And he said, John, I just want to know if you're serious about what you said the other night. I want to apologize for that, throwing you out of whiskey. I said, Tom, I'm as serious as I can be. And he said, can you come over to my house? I said, when? Tonight? He said, yeah. So I went over there, and we bonded for life that night.
Yeah.
And, the one other crazy kind of serendipity thing was I was a DJ, in Memphis, and then I became a promo man because they made more money than DJs and had an expense account.
Yeah, that was a regular transition.
Yeah, right, exactly. And, I think it was good that, radio guys were promotion guys. But anyway, to me, it was the same thing. I was turning you onto records and vice versa. But anyway, I think 1974, 75, I was listening to a cartridge, a cassette of all the new bands that MCA was putting out. And one of the songs was called Depot Street, my Mudcrutch. And I went to Nashville, and I got it played on WKDF in Nashville. And I called my boss. I got my first ad, Mudcrutch. He went, John, it's a single. There's no album. Work on the Olivia Newton-John record. So I did. And I forgot Mudcrutch, never even knew who Mudcrutch was.
Yep.
Did you get to meet Olivia Newton-John?
Right, and we went outside, to smoke a little peace pipe, and I asked Tom, we were just talking about each other's career. I said, have you been in any other bands? He said, yeah, you never heard of them. They're called Mudcrutch. And I went, oh, my God, Depot Street? He looked at me, and we stared at each other for 30 seconds like, what the hell's going on here?
I love that stuff. That's good.
I mean, it was all serendipity, and it was all meant to be, and happened for a reason. And that's what I think. I think everything happens for a pretty good reason in this world. Not everything, but most things.
Not everything, but yeah.
Well, I mean, did you ever tell him the Mellencamp story?
Well, I did, but not the first night. I didn't want to think.
No.
I had just gotten fired from MCA Records because I liked a kid named Johnny Cougar. And the record company hated him. And I kind of liked him, and they sent me out to Seymour, Indiana to see him. And if you see him, he's a superstar.
He's great live. First
time, and I'm in Seymour, Indiana, in a National Guard armory, and I flip out, and I call Los Angeles, and they go, what are you smoking, man? We don't like his music. We hate his manager, Tony DeFries, who was David Bowie's manager. And we're going to drop him, stop working the record. And I went, how can I do that? I just got WMMS in Cleveland to play the record. And he went, stop working the record. And I went, no. He said, you're fired. So I'm on the Universal back lot, at MCA Records going, what the hell just happened to me? But I believe that was meant to be because I would have never met Tom Petty.
Yeah, there you
go. I hadn't gotten fired. But I didn't tell Tom that night because I thought he would really think I was a nut job. You like who? A kid named Johnny Cougar. Great.
Yeah, it's like, why should I do anything with you? You're going to get fired, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at one point, Charlie said, if you don't get this record played, you could be fired. So, well, whatever. But it all worked out. I mean, that night, I said, you got any new stuff? He said, well, it's a rough demo, but he put on Listen to Her Heart.
No, I love that.
After that first opening guitar like Mike Campbell does, it just, I was in seventh heaven.
Yeah.
Well, God almighty, these guys got a future.
Yeah, tell them why it didn't get played.
Well, because it said you think you can take her away with your money and your cocaine.
Yeah.
And that was going to be the first single, but ABC wanted him to say champagne.
No.
And so he said, well, it wasn't champagne, it was cocaine. And I'm not going to change it.
Yeah. I really lost this bitch. It's a story.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we put out, what did we put out? Listen, we put out another song first, which did pretty good. I can't remember which one it was, but...
it's I Need to Know.
Yeah, I Need to Know. Yeah,
that's my favorite album of all time, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good
me and you both, man. That was an incredible album.
Yeah. Total greatness.
And the first and second album kind of were unknown, and we had to play to get people to listen to us. We had to play these $3 shows. Lex, you know about those.
Yep.
Whatever your frequency is, if it's a 103 on the dial, we played for $3 in about 20 cities. And you look at the ticket prices now, but I'm going to see this guy. Who is this guy? For $3, I'll go.
You know what though? That was a brilliant idea.
Thank you.
And and I know it took a couple of years to get it done, but I truly believe it made his career. No doubt about it.
Because I would have parties before the concert with other DJs down, and they came with me to the show because they were kind of intrigued. And when you came out, you were a believer. And that's what happened. I mean, we went to Seattle, we went to Chicago, opening for Elvis Costello for $3 at WXRT, and he blew Elvis Costello away, by the way. But anyway, it was a tough ride. It wasn't easy. Sometimes I wonder if a fan realizes how a band got from 0 to 100, and that's kind of what I wanted to convey in this book.
It definitely does.
Didn't just put out a record. and all of a sudden you're famous.
Well, I'm not saying that he wouldn't have lucked out and made it some other way, but this one's on you, pal. We appreciate you for it.
And yeah, no kidding. America with the world thanks you.
Yeah, I mean,
thank you, because I tell you, it was one hell of a ride traveling around the country with Tom. Every night I would see history being made. I mean, the second concert I saw was in Santa Cruz, California, in a little small auditorium, and he did 6 encores.
Nice.
And they were still clapping for more. And I went backstage. He said, Tom, I want you to play more. He said, we don't know any more songs.
Nice.
Hey, John, we got like 30 seconds left. Where can we get this book?
Well, you can get the book at my website, www.tompettyandme.com. And right now I'm doing a special holiday sale, 2 for 1. And I sign every book and personalize the book as well. You can also buy it on Amazon. Well, you get 2 books for 1. On my site, tompettyandme.com.
Cool.
Or you can buy it on Amazon or Amazon Kindle, and it's available everywhere. And I have a feeling that you guys got about 28 gazillion listeners. We're going to sell some books today.
Yeah, I hope so, man. We got some Tom Petty fans out there. Buddy, I love you. Good luck with the book, and I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thanks, Lex, Terry. You guys, take care.
Thank you.